welcome back to my channel. I'm Claire and today we are sitting here in front of my vanity and I am completely barefaced, no filters or anything on my videos, and we are going to be talking about skincare for beginners. And I have been really wanting to make this video for a very long time because I feel like when I was first starting off with my whole skincare journey, I didn't know like anything. I didn't get what to use. I didn't get what to look for. I don't know what product was good. And so I figured I'm going to sit down here. I'm going to walk you guys through my entire skincare collection, some of the things I've been using, and just kind of share how it is that I think about skincare. Let's first talk about your skin type. So there's a couple of different skin types that you can be. You can be oily, normal, dry, combo, and there's also a couple of nuances in there, like if you're acne prone, if you're sensitive. And so basically all of that means to say is, how does your skin naturally feel on an everyday basis? That's like the most simple way I can break it down. Like every single day, are you waking up and going about your day and feeling like you're super oily? Are you feeling like you're super dry? Do you kind of feel like you're just chilling? Do you feel like, oh, maybe you put something on or you ate something bad and then your skin's kind of starts developing a rash? Do you feel like you use a new product and you all of a sudden there's pimples everywhere? The best way that I found in determining what my skin type has been is truly just what is my skin like every single day? What are the biggest issues that I face every single day? And for a very long time, I was firmly in that normal to combo bucket. I didn't really have any issues with my skin. I think all the way up until I was like maybe like 24 or 25-ish. Like a couple years after I moved like out here to New York City, I feel like, oh my gosh, I started really struggling with acne. But before that, my skin was pretty much normal. Everything was like very manageable. And sometimes I got really oily in my T-zone area, but that was pretty much it. Like this whole big cheeks area never really had a big issue with oils. So that was kind of how I managed my skin. Then around 25, my skin changed, which I've heard from a lot of people that's that age, your skin does start changing a little bit. And after that point, my skin became firmly very sensitive and also acne prone. And so for me, I don't now really identify with any like normal, dry, oily combo or anything like that, because all I know is that my skin is just sensitive. It needs like the perfect amount of moisture. It needs like the perfect amount of exfoliation. Like one small change with the weather is going to change it. And it's just like, that to me is like what sensitive is, because anybody's skin when you're using bad product is going to have a bad reaction. But my skin just like needs the extra hand holding. So that's kind of where my skin is at. And so because of that, I have a lot of different products that I use depending on the environment that my skin is currently in. So if it's drier, I'm gonna have a lot more hydration, oils, and things like that. Right now, it's we're in the summertime, or we're about to be. We're in the summertime, summertime. We're in the summertime in New York, and it means it's really hot. And so now I'm kind of like starting to shift gears a little bit and trying to add in a lot more exfoliation into my routine. And so because of that, I have a ton of different product ranges, and so that is just what works for me. The biggest thing when it comes to skincare is truly identifying your skin type and finding the right products for your skin type. If you take away nothing else from this video, I highly recommend doing research on your own skin type. And one thing I will note that I used to really not understand is, when you're oily, you absolutely still need moisturizer. You absolutely still need face oils. You still need a lot of hydration. That was something that when I used to have a combo kind of a skin earlier on, when I had like really oily forehead and a T-zone, I didn't really get that. And later on, I started to understand that a little bit more, but we will get there once we get into all the stuff. So right now, let's just jump right back into cleansers. Okay, so here's the thing with cleansers. For me, cleansers is something that I don't like overdoing. But at the same time, for me, because I have sensitive skin and I'm acne prone, if I don't do enough of it, I'm going to get acne. And so for me, it's a very fine balance. The couple of cleansers that I have in front of me I think are pretty good to start off with, no matter what your skin type is. So starting off, I want to share the Ren Skincare #1 Purity Cleansing Balm. So I like to use a cleansing balm when I'm wearing makeup, when I have a lot of heavy SPF on, if I'm outside, there's like pollution getting on my face. And so that is when I really want to use a cleansing balm and make sure I wash off that first layer of grime. Typically, if I'm at home, I don't like to use a cleansing balm. I've talked to my facialist before, and she's also mentioned that, at least for me, it's not really necessary to use it because it just is going to dry my skin out even more. And so for me, I don't like to use a cleansing balm unless I actually have like a lot of extra stuff to wash off my face besides just my normal skincare. Depending on where your skin type is, I have a couple of cleansers that I think will work. Starting off with something a little bit more heavy duty. This is the, oh, can you even see it? This is the Youth to the People cleanser that I really love. This is the Kale and Green Tea Spinach Vitamin Superfoods cleanser. So during the summer times, when I feel like my face is at a uncontrollable level of oil, like it gets there, like when we get to around like August, like the oils in my face and like the amount of like exfoliation I need just gets out of control. But so when I get to that point, I really need something extra heavy duty, I will use this Superfoods cleanser by Youth to the People because I find that it has been the best cleanser on me that actually washes away all of the excess oil without being overly stripping of your natural face oils. And so I really like this because of that reason. I do feel like if you have drier skin, even though this cleanser is not meant to be stripping of your face oils, I still wouldn't necessarily recommend it just because we want to go with something a little bit gentler. We want to go with something that is a cream cleanser. Cream cleansers are really just meant to be like hydration in a bottle mixed with a cleanser. And so I have two different types of cream cleansers. The first one is the Tatcha Rice Wash. And the second one that I have that I've actually just been trying out, but I actually really like it, is the Shani Darden Cleansing Serum. So these are two different types of cream cleansers depending on what you need. Now the Rice Wash is I'm just going to describe it right now. The Rice Wash is a pH neutral cream cleanser of rice and hyaluronic acid that gently purifies while moisturizing. So the rice component in here is going to be naturally a little bit more exfoliating, but the consistency of it being a cream cleanser, having the hyaluronic acid is really going to also help with moisturizing. And that's basically what a cream cleanser is doing. It's going to help clean your skin while also hydrating your skin at the same time. So if you have dry skin, I highly recommend a cream cleanser. Now, if you have extremely dry skin or you feel like you don't really need that kind of exfoliation every single day, I recommend something like the Shani Darden one, where this one doesn't have any level of exfoliation in it. During the winter times, I would not really go for this. I've started to kind of start using this again because we're getting to the warmer weathers. And so now I'll kind of like alternate, like maybe every 2 days with this and then 1 day with this, so that my skin can have a little bit more exfoliation. But otherwise, this is what I would recommend if you have a dry skin. You really want to find something that is going to be constantly hydrating your face. And so you're not going to be stripping away any of your natural face oil. Okay, so because it's a video for beginners, we are going to jump into the next necessity you really need in your skincare routine, which is moisturizers. And then we will come back to serums, toners, essences, and all of that afterwards. Also, you can see in the back, my skincare fridge is now open because I pulled some stuff out. Okay, so moisturizers, my favorite thing in the world. I used to use nothing but like moisturizer every single day and a cleanser, and that was pretty much it. And that worked for me for like 23 years of my life. And then I kind of was like, okay, I need to like actually have a skincare routine, and then things started changing for me. So when it comes to moisturizers, this is once again very much dependent on the type of skin that you have. That's going to change the type of moisturizers that you need. So we're gonna start off with oily skin because I do have a couple of options for that. When it comes to oily skin, there's a myth out there and a misconception that somehow you just don't need as much hydration and moisture, but that's just completely false. Your skin still really needs it. It's more of just excess oil kind of coming up to the surface. And for me, that was a really difficult concept to kind of like get across into my head, that I actually still need a lot of hydration. I actually still need something that's really going to moisturize my skin when I have like all of this like excess oil on my forehead and on my T-zone. So the one moisturizer that I found that I really, really love, that is super lightweight, that never made me feel like my skin was just drowning when I felt like my face was super oily, is the Youth of the People's Superfood Air Whip Moisture Cream. And this has kale, spinach, and hyaluronic acid in it. So this one I really love because it's truly a lightweight moisturizer. On the skin, it feels super, super light. I'm gonna kind of like drop back in my hand here. It feels super lightweight. It almost blends into nothing. It's a beautiful consistency. And that is what I really love about this moisturizer, is that it just blends into your skin and makes you feel like, okay, I'm just a little tad more moisturized now. I still have a bottle of this everywhere, or a jar of this everywhere I go, because I like to sometimes when I'm just at home and I feel like I need like an extra spritz, instead of like having like the facial sprays, because I'm at home, I like to just wash my hands and then reapply a really light layer of this for hydration, and that works really well for me. And so that's why I still have this, even though I no longer have an oily skin. But this one does wonders, and I would highly recommend finding a moisturizer that is super lightweight but still gives you a lot of extra hydration, because for me that has always been the biggest issue when I had oily skin. When I had oily skin, it was like, oh my gosh, everything weighed down on my face. It felt so heavy and uncomfortable, and I hated it. Now, if you have more normal skin, I have an amazing moisturizer that you will absolutely love. So I started using this and I was completely blown away by how much I love it. This is the Tatcha Silk Cream. The Tatcha Silk Cream is, like, to me, heaven in a bottle. I love this so much. This is more of my, like, right now, like summertime, daytime moisturizer. I love this because of the way that it feels on my skin. The moisturizer is just also super, super lightweight, and so it's very comparable to the Youth to the People one. The only difference is that I feel like the Silk Cream is just a tad more hydrating. I can feel the difference in my hands when I apply them both, and I can definitely feel a difference when I apply it to my skin, and that's why I love the Silk Cream as a normal skin type of a moisturizer. It is very, very expensive. However, I just feel like it does it all and it makes you feel so good. And that's kind of what I want in like a normal skin. I want something lightweight, but you also want something super hydrating. And depending on the level of how much moisture that you need, I would recommend finding either like the Silk Cream, something like the Youth to the People one, as a great starter basis for you. Now, if you need more hydration, a moisturizer that I really, really love is the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. This one for me is like an OG. It just does everything. I love it. It's very thick, not very thick, but it's thicker. And so on me, when you kind of spread it around, you do kind of have to work at it in order to kind of help it blend out a little bit more. But the end result that you're gonna get is that everything just feels so much more hydrated. And it may seem counterintuitive because you're thinking, well, wouldn't I want hydration everywhere all the time? And the answer is yes, but sometimes you don't always need all of that extra hydration, because sometimes it may just be too much and instead it might just break you out. So that's why for me, everything is almost like a formula tailored to your skin depending on what it needs for the day. I'm at the point now where I have different types of moisturizers that I have here obviously in front of me that I'm using, that I like, that I can kind of swap in for different occasions depending on what my skin needs. If you're just starting out, I would recommend finding one of these that you feel like is good for your skin. Start testing it out, kind of evaluate what it is that your skin is feeling like, because maybe you're not actually using the right moisturizer for your skin. Maybe you're using something that's a little bit too heavy and need something a little bit lighter. And so moisturizers is almost like a case of Goldilocks. You want to find that perfect one, and everybody's skin is so different. And so that's why we have so many different moisturizers out there, because everybody needs something a little bit different. And while we're here on the topic, I'm just going to talk really quickly about night creams, because I like to use the same day cream and night cream. That's just me. I like to kind of streamline my whole moisturizer situation because I have a lot going on in all of the other steps of my skincare routine. However, when it comes to a night cream, I really love this one by The Outset. This is the Restorative Niacinamide Night Cream. And the reason that I really like this is because I feel like it gives me that extra dose of hydration. And so it's supposed to be very thick. Like, I took a very small amount. You can see it like spreads out very, very well. And I like this as kind of like a last layer before I go in with all of my moisturizers and oils, to really kind of give it my skin like the extra touch of hydration and anti-aging that I need. And so this one I really love for hydration purposes. I think you can find a lot of other night creams that does other things. For me, I just want to focus on hydration first, and everything like retinols and all of that, I just feel like it's not my primary concern. If I can get my hydration under control and I can just hydrate my skin all of the time, then I will be good. Next, we're going to be talking about SPF, which is one of my favorite topics because SPF is like life. So I've been on the hunt for a really, really good SPF for a very long time now. And for a very long time, most SPFs disappointed me because I want it to be super high SPF. I want it to blend into my skin. I want to make it have everything just look seamless and not like a white cast. I don't want it to be all chemically and toxic. I want it to be reef safe. I need a lot of things going on with my SPF because I need it to be perfect, because SPF is so important. And with that being said, after a very long time, I finally found the right SPF for me, and that's because this product was just recently released. This is the Tatcha the Silk Cream. This is the Tatcha the Silk Sunscreen, and this is a hydrating mineral shield with niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, and SPF 50. So a lot of SPFs out there are like SPF 20, SPF 30, SPF 35. I want like all the way up to SPF 50, and I've used a couple of SPF 30s and they're just fine, but like I want something a little bit higher. So for me, because of what it is that I look for in an SPF, I don't recommend any other SPFs because I want something that is going to do it all. And so this is one of my absolute favorite SPFs because it's mineral, it's reef safe, it's SPF 50, and it blends so well into my skin. The other SPF that I would also kind of recommend, because I used that for a very long time before this product came out, is the Dermalogica SPF. I'll throw a little picture up on the screen here. That one I actually used for a pretty long time, and I like it pretty well, but I just prefer the Tatcha one, and I will show you when I pour some into my hands. So here's the thing, you can kind of see there's a little bit of tint on the SPF, but the thing is that it doesn't actually give you any type of a tint. And you may kind of look at it and be like, oh, well, I'm like a lot darker, I'm a lot lighter than that, like maybe that's just your skin tone. No, I've like tried this on my boyfriend, Mikhail, who he's a lot darker than me, and it doesn't give any type of a tint on him. So I can attest for my darker skin friends that this will not leave any type of a tint on your face. Instead, it just kind of smooths out my whole appearance. And I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I feel like even me just doing that on my forearms, like right here, made it look so much smoother. And that is what I love about a good mineral SPF, is because it's meant to be the extra shield kind of sitting on top of your face anyway. And so when a product does it really well, it can almost just help smooth everything out. And that is like exactly what I need. And so this SPF I would highly recommend. I do not leave the house without SPF. And so because of that, I have some other SPF recommendations. This is the Kate Somerville SPF 50 makeup setting spray. It's the Uncomplicated SPF Soft Focus Makeup Setting Spray with a broad spectrum SPF 50. So here's the thing, when I'm leaving the house and I'm like having like a full face of makeup on, it's so incredibly difficult to figure out what to do with my SPF. And I'm out there in like the hot summer air and everything is just like bearing down on me with like the full rays of the sun. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to reapply my SPF. But then all the SPFs are like this, it's like a cream. I can't put that on top of makeup. It's really confusing. And so here we come in with a makeup setting spray. There's not a lot of these makeup setting sprays that have SPF in it. There is a couple. The reason why I like the Kate Somerville one is because it's SPF 50. There are a couple others out there that I believe are SPF like 30 or something. And I'm like, that's great. I just want something more. And so that's why I really like this. When I went to Florida, and obviously the sun in Florida is a lot stronger than here in New York, I use this religiously and it works so well on my skin. It didn't clog my pores, which is very important because some sunscreens have clogged my pores, and it doesn't make me feel like extra sticky or like, oh my gosh, I can like feel something on my face. And I also like to just kind of do a quick spray all over the rest of my arms and my feet and my legs. And I just love this. This one is so good. It feels lightweight. It doesn't clog your pores. It's SPF 50. So I would highly recommend, if you're someone who loves to wear makeup and you're out in the sun a lot, pick up a makeup setting spray with SPF, preferably with a very high SPF, and you will be good to go. Okay, so if you're completely new to skincare and you don't have any kind of skincare routine, I would recommend taking it super easy, stopping there with a solid cleanser, a really good moisturizer, and some SPF, and kind of start there. When I first got my boyfriend into doing skincare, like this is like all that he still does. And for some, that is all that they can handle. Like my boyfriend, this is all he can handle is a cleanser, a moisturizer, and SPF. And like sometimes he like doesn't even do like all of it all the time. And so I would recommend starting there if you are very new to this, so you don't get overwhelmed. Find yourself good products that you really like, get into a good routine with them, and feel really comfortable about how the products are reacting to your skin, where your skin is like, what your skin needs before adding more. We're just at the point of the video where the hair needs to go up because I feel really hot, because I can't have the air on. Otherwise, it's really loud. One last note that I will mention is about skincare ingredients. This is like a whole video by itself. Like I won't even get into it here. But one thing to mention is that not all skincare ingredients are made equal. And I would really recommend looking at the ingredients list for the different type of skincare ingredients that's in there. I know a lot of things have like these like weird, like chemically sounding names. I don't really think that's something to be scared of, because everything, even water, has like a chemical name that I can't think of right now. And so I wouldn't worry about that, but I would really do your research just on the different type of skincare ingredients that's in there. I would just, like Google what it is and what it does. And I think most of the time, if an ingredient has something that's like a major red flag, I think if you search it up on Google, that might be like the first thing that comes up. And as I've kind of mentioned a couple of times, I feel like everything with skincare is like is like Goldilocks meets the mad scientist. It's about finding the perfect balance for your skin, and you can mix and match so many different things to find that perfect concoction of what your skin needs. And if you're so overwhelmed by everything, I would just recommend just starting very, very simple. Like go in with a moisturizer first, and then an SPF, and then a cleanser. Start building it up depending on your comfort level, and don't worry about having to get it right. I think a lot of us are very obsessed with the idea of anti-aging everywhere. And oh my gosh, like you see these celebrities that are like 55 years old that look like they're still like 25. And I just feel like that's not realistic. And what is realistic is normal people with normal skin. And so that's why I did this whole video with you guys, just completely barefaced, because I feel like that's what we need more of. We need normal people with normal skin, and not everyone can afford like $1,000 like Botox treatment. It's just not realistic. So that is my advice. If you have any other questions about any of the products I mentioned, the different types of products you might be looking for, leave them down in the comments below. I will definitely answer them all. And if you follow me on Instagram at Miss claireshay, I always am posting new products I'm trying out. And there's so many new things I'm trying out all the time that I really, really love. And I'm kind of like mixing into my skincare routine, like taking different things out. And so follow me on there if you want more skincare tips. And I post new videos on this channel every single week. And I hope to see you back here. And thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Remember to subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.